And welcome back to Humboldt State tonight. JB Mathers joined by Brian Chud, Charity. We should probably start there. Chud, where'd you pick up that nickname?
It was just an old football name from high school. I came into high school. I was like a nobody kid. I was like the younger brother of a star athlete. And I think it's an old movie. I'd never even seen the movie before. Like somehow I related to this old movie. So
Maybe that's our Big Pete's trivia this week.
Yeah, I know. If somebody's seen that movie before, I doubt most people have seen it. But if you've seen that movie and you can tell me why it relates to me, then
all right, so fair enough. You're the younger brother of a superstar down there in San Diego,
yeah.
And eventually you, like a lot of people, come up to Humboldt State for school and athletics. And
sure.
Obviously you must have grown up to be something, Brian. I mean, you don't look like you missed too many meals.
No. I've seen the buffet table before in my life. It's part of my training for offensive line. I was an offensive lineman in San Diego, went to junior college, took the long route to Humboldt State, played here for one season under Doug Atkins, and then kind of was just stuck in trying to find like my path in life, and met up with Drew. He became a big mentor for me and got into the field of strength and conditioning.
Yeah, well, part of the reason, to let you folks know why we're having Brian on this week, he was an intern with the Denver Broncos over the summer, and of course the Broncos, 23-3 winners, taking care of business against the Raiders this past weekend. But so you go and you decide to help out with Drew. Maybe we'll come back to that. But talk about what it's like when you get the call saying the Denver Broncos want you to intern as a strength and conditioning coach over the summer.
I first thought it was a mistake. They were looking for somebody else, but they actually were looking for me to help out. They're looking to bring in some youth in the coaching realm there for the strength and conditioning. A lot of those guys have been long-time college coaches, and so they have most of those guys have 30 years in the field or above. So they wanted to bring in some youth into the field, and they called upon me, and I went out there. It was a great experience, probably the best time of my life, just within learning and just seeing different part of the country, and just growing up as a person.
So what was it like? You show up, you get the call. Obviously, thank goodness you didn't hang up or accuse Duke or somebody of playing. We're all about the nicknames here today, by the way, too. Just to let you know, Dwayne Manyweather, the Duke. But you at least you didn't hang up. You knew it wasn't a crank call. And how nervous are you on that plane flight out to Denver?
It was pretty nervous. I almost missed my flight. Something happened with the San Francisco airport with the fog, and then so I almost ended up missing my interview. They brought me in. I was only there for 2 to 3 hours, so I was like, oh man, this is gonna kill me for my interview. We met and interviewed in the airport. Then we went to the field, to their practice facility, checked it out, and then that was pretty much it. And I was like, well, I thought that was gonna kill me not being there for a lot longer than I was for the interview. But
so you had to interview first. It wasn't hey, we picked you, we loved your resume. You actually did have to talk it up.
Yeah, flew out there. They flew me out.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
it was. It's one thing when you get the job at 7-Eleven and they, hey, can you pass a drug test? Okay, I'm in. But when you're talking about flying out, and I mean they're paying to fly you out from Arcata, and then the NFL, man, it is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it was a big pressure. There was a lot of pressure there, but it was a great time. The coach Chud, who's the head strength coach there, is a great guy. Me and him met. We clicked very, very quickly. He's just all about letting us do our thing. He wanted us to go in there and feel like we can do whatever we wanted to do, say what we wanted to say. So at one point, I felt like I was important, but then you walk by Coach McDaniels or some of the other coaches, and they're like, "Hey, who's this guy?" And it's like.
Well, you're a pretty big guy, and you're still young enough you could play. I mean, at any point, did they think, what round did we draft you in? Or, the free agent pickup maybe they don't know about?
No, I don't think that was ever in question there. They knew I wasn't there for that. But it was good. It's just funny because I'd always be there in the morning. I was like the first guy. We'd be in there for breakfast. We were like always the first guys there in the morning. And so I'd always talk to the coach in the morning. He always thought we did great things for him. And he really appreciated what we did for him. So I want to say it was a great experience and a lot of learning, but it was fun at the same time, and it's good to see that those guys are doing well. So it makes me feel good about, I had a part into it.
Yeah,
so.
3-0, and obviously a lot of thanks going out to you there with what you did. But what's it like, for Humboldt State? I mean, look, this is Humboldt State tonight. We're all about Humboldt, but sitting in there with Drew and dealing with athletes that are, playing here at the Division II level, and the next thing you know, you got Champ Bailey and No Sean Moreno and DJ Williams and it's the National Football League. Talk about that experience of taking what Drew taught you and taking that to the, some of the world's finest athletes.
I want to say that the main thing is athletes are athletes. No matter what level, how skilled they are, there's always things they can do better. They always need coaching, and they always need to be pushed a little bit more, and that's the main thing I always want to, you can always do more. You can always do better, and there's always more you can do as a coach or as an athlete to become, make the team better. So those guys are always great athletes. They're getting, they're bigger, they're faster, stronger than the average, Division II athlete, but at the same time, there's always things they can do to become better.
But what you guys teaching them right over here in the field house across the way, is that the same stuff and the same principles apply to, the Bobby Thomas who joined us last week and the guys who play for HSU and all the sports, volleyball, softball, Coach Cheeks athletes, the same for the guys who play for the Denver Broncos or wherever you may have been this summer?
We all do the same thing. Everybody did the same thing there as they do here. We did Olympic lifts, which is different for the Broncos. I know for a lot of teams in the NFL, they keep them on mostly on machines. They try to keep it simple. They don't want people to get hurt. But Coach Chud is all about he's an old college coach from Florida, so he likes to, mix it up. They do a lot of Olympic lifts and a lot of other things that a lot of teams don't do.
I gotta ask you, Brian, before we run out of time here. So what's it like? You go out to dinner with the players. You guys are all, hanging out, and I'm sure the groupies are coming up. Oh, there's Champ, and there's No Shot. Who's this guy? What's that like?
It was always a funny experience because they'd be like, well, who's that guy? What does he play? And they're like, oh, he's just one of the strength and conditioning coaches. They're like, okay, never mind. They just kept moving. But it's a humbling experience. But
do you want to get back to the NFL?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Brian Charity, thank you so much. JB Mathers, along with the big fella. You can just call him Chud when you see him on Humboldt State tonight.
Thank you.
Warm up to savings on a new Lopi or Vermont casting stove at Schaefer's Ace Hardware in Henderson Center. The stove department has been remodeled and features the latest stoves with the latest technology. Ask about a tax credit on qualifying stoves at Schaefer's. Fixing up your home has never been easier with quality Ace and Benjamin Moore paints from Schaefer's Paint Department. Pick out your colors and let the helpful Ace consultants make it happen. Eureka's helpful hardware place for stoves, paint, and much more. Schaefer's Ace Hardware in Henderson Center, Eureka.
Miller Farms is a full-service nursery that's brimming with color. You'll find everything from beautiful plants to gardening supplies and landscaping equipment. Miller Farms staff is incredibly knowledgeable and always available to help even the most novice of gardeners. Their giftware section is full of wonderful and whimsical cards, garden ornaments, and so much more. From fountains to plants and trees to gardening supplies and specialty workshops, you'll find it all in one special place at Miller Farms on Central Avenue in McKinleyville.
Do you like authentic New York-style pizza? Come down and enjoy Big Pete's Pizza in Arcata on the corner of 15th and G Street, or our new Eureka location off the 101 on 5th and R Street. Big Pete's has 12 beers on tap, 10 big flat-screen TVs, and arcade games for the kids. Call us up for delivery anytime and let us bring you the finest pizza the North Coast has to offer. That's right, we deliver. Call us in Arcata at 826-1890 or in Eureka at 441-1151.
All right, my favorite part of the show now where we give away free pizza because I love giving away free stuff. It's the Big Pete's trivia question where Big Pete is going to hook you up with some free pizza pie. Gotta love that. All right, this week's question. Sue Woodstrup, volleyball coach of the HSU Lady Jacks. She was a captain of the silver medal winning Team USA volleyball team. The question is, what year did she do that? And the answer to last week's question, well, Dixie State, they're no longer the Rebels. They're now the Red Storm.